شفت ياما ناس منى هتعيش العمر جنبك وبرضه ما يكفيش أحلى دنيا عندي ما تساويش.
الحمد لله الذي
As precious as children are to parents, they could also be causes of agony in this life and in the hereafter if they are not properly trained. Giving a Muslim child only Western education is like building a one-footed player who sits on reserve bench for long. Qiblah Schools Ibadan is capable of giving your child a sound Western and Islamic education with emphasis on art-based science and technology courses. Even vocational training like sewing, soap making, tie and dye are not left out. With a well-stocked library and computer room, our students are ever prepared for all external examinations. Come rain, come shine. Buses are available for their movement as well as modern sporting facilities. Yet the teaching of Quran and Sunnah to Rasulullah is never compromised. See our seasoned tutors as they impact knowledge in these children with the fear of Allah. The excellent performance of our students at all external examinations and competitions is a testimony of our diligence and the favor of Allah on us. Qiblah Primary School and Qiblah High School are located side by side at plots 2 to 5 Ibadan Southwest Multipurpose Scheme near Aleshinoye Market, Ibadan. Telephone 0805-272-5253 or 0803-313-2027. Qiblah Schools, we set the pace.
Alhamdulillah wa kafa. ثم الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين وأصحاب المجاهدين وتابعين لهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. All praise and adoration is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord of incomparable majesty, the cherisher of mankind, sustainer of the whole universe. We thank Him, we adore Him, we celebrate His praise, and we glorify His name. We testify to His wonders that He has no associate, He has no partner. We equally testify to the messengership of Prophet of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. May the peace and benediction of Allah be upon His nobles, His household, His companions, and the majority of Muslims till the day of judgment. You are welcome to your favorite program, Message from Qiblah, sponsored by Qiblah Schools, Aleshinoye, Ibadan. Today, we want to talk about the virtues of righteousness in Ramadan. As we all know that this month of Ramadan is not meant for laziness. It's not a month to exercise laziness of any kind or any form. It's a month whereby we have to work very well. We have to work assiduously, particularly in getting rewards from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why it is important we analyze and enumerate some of the righteousness expected of us in this month of Ramadan. And the first thing I would like to mention is as-sadaqah, offering alms to the needy, to the poor, and even fi sabilillah, that is in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our master, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was identified and described as somebody who was so much generous in the month of Ramadan. So the report says that كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أجود الناس بالخير وكان أجود ما يكون في رمضان. That the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم was generous, and the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم used to be more generous in the month of Ramadan. So he gives out his belonging like someone who is not afraid of poverty. So the Prophet will give out virtually everything he has in doing sadaqah in the month of Ramadan. And those of us that we are his followers, then we just have to emulate him. We have to emulate him is seeking Allah's mercy. And part of the sadaqah that is expected of us is iftar, to be providing what a fasting person or fasting people will break their fast with, because it is highly rewarding if one is able to offer or to provide that with which another person can break his fast. Because we have it nowadays, where the Prophet said, Man fatara sawima falahu hajjuhu min ghairi ayyam qasam min ajri sawim shay. Rawahu Ahmad wa Tirmidhi. That whoever provides something with which a fasting person breaks his fast, falahu hajjuhu, he will have his reward. That is, he will have the reward of a fasting person. So the reward that is due a fasting person will be given to him. Without diminishing the reward of the fasting person. So the person that accepts the offer will not have his reward declined. But the person that provides the offering will have the reward of a fasting person. So we can imagine the reward of a fasting person that is undetermined except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the knowledge. So it's only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that has the knowledge of the reward to be given to a fasting person. Nobody knows the quantity, nobody knows the volume. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, on the tongue of the Prophet, said that the person that feeds a fasting person, they will have his reward. That we have the reward of a fasting person. So how meritorious is this act of ibadah? And that is why those of us that we have in abundance, it is in this month of Ramadan we have to be generous beyond the level of our generosity before Ramadan. And that is why we should take advantage of the wealth given to us by Allah, of the mercy of Allah bestowed upon us, to make other people happy in this glorious month of Ramadan. They should also spend much of our time in the night to observe supererogatory prayer, particularly the prayer that is popularly known as Taraweeh, because Taraweeh is attributed to Ramadan. So after Ramadan or before Ramadan, we have what is called Qiyamul Layl, but in the month of Ramadan, that same Qiyamul Layl is known as Taraweeh, because the Prophet ﷺ was reported to have said that whoever observes Taraweeh ma'al Imam, with his Imam, that person will be given the reward of the one who has observed Qiyamul Layl, or who has used his night in totality to observe supererogatory prayer. So you can see how meritorious observance of Taraweeh is in the month of Ramadan. So we are not to exercise laziness, we are not to overfeed ourselves, such that we will not be able to carry our body, we will not be able to lift our body, we will not be able to observe Taraweeh at night. So observing Taraweeh is equally important because of the reward attached to it. We don't have it in Hadith reported by Bukhari and Muslim. The man come Ramadan iman wa ihtisaban ghufira lahu ma taqaddama min dhanbi. That whoever observes Taraweeh, man qama, that's whoever observes supererogatory prayer, and the scholars of Islam, they say that this prayer is referring to Taraweeh. That whoever observes it iman, in faith and in hope that he will get reward from Allah, that person will have his previous sins forgiven by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then thirdly, Tilawatul Quran, which is spend this month of Ramadan in celebrating the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is the recited Quran. Because for every word, or let me say for every letter recited in the Quran, there is hasana, there is a complete reward given to it, and every hasana is in tenfold, as we have it in the hadith. So now imagine the number of letters that you are going to recite by reciting a page, by reciting a verse, or by reciting the whole Quran. So it's enormous. So that's why we have to take advantage of this month by reciting Quran much. The Quran reciting, or the good deed done in this month, the reward is in manifold. So the reward of reciting Quran is in manifold beyond the month of Ramadan. So imagine the kind of force of reward we get for reciting Quran in this month of Ramadan. And we should also bear it in mind that this month of Ramadan, Shahrul Quran, is the month of Quran, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala began to reveal Quran to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in this month of Ramadan. Now we have to knowledge that Quran recited, we intercede for the reciter on the day of judgment. And that is why it is important that we also attempt to surpass one another in reciting Quran al-Kareem. And in this month of Ramadan, particularly in the last 10 days of Ramadan, it is also an act of ibadah to go on i'tikaf. And that is mulazamatul masjid li ibadat taqarruban lillahi azza wa jalla. That we go and settle in the mosque, we leave our family, we leave our house, we abandon our facilities and go and settle in the mosque to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the intention of drawing ourselves closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So doing itikaf in the last 10 days of Ramadan is part of the good deeds and the meritorious act of ibadah that we should be inclined in doing. Likewise, for Ihtimad, to go on Umrah, that is the lesser Hajj, for those that have the wherewithal to do that. So, because the Prophet ﷺ was supposed to have said, Umrah fi Ramadan, Talib Hajjatul Ba'id, that the Umrah done in the month of Ramadan is equivalent to Hajj done with me. So, can you imagine that? So, if anybody has the means to do Umrah in this month of Ramadan, the person will have the equivalent of reward of doing Hajj behind the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this is telling us that this month we have to work very well, particularly in doing various acts of worship. It's not a month to exercise business, it's not a month to while away time. So we shouldn't afford to waste a moment of our time in this month of Ramadan, because every minute, every second is so important that a moment should not be allowed to be in vain. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the fortitude to embrace the advantage and the mercy of this holy month and engage in various righteous acts of ibadah. And this one that we are doing, that we have started doing since the commencement of Ramadan, we pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it from us as a permanent act of righteousness, and they give us the strength and capacity to do more, and Allah accept it from us in general. The school for which the message is coming, may Allah keep elevating the school. أقول ما تسمعون أستغفر الله ولكم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Tí mo bá kàwé mi, bàtà mi á dún kó. ká.
tá a bá kàwé tá a fi tọlọ́run síwájú ní bàtà kókó kàífi rọ́ni lọ́rùn ẹsẹ̀ káfọmọlẹ́kọ̀ọ́ àlùkùránì àtẹ̀kọ́ ìwé tó yanrantí lọ́mọ fi lè ṣàṣeyọrí láyé tí ó sì tún jèrè ní àlẹ́ àhírà bá a kúkú fẹgbẹ̀rún pàǹṣàgùnmu àtìlẹ́yìn ẹ̀kọ́ gbóná ni tó bá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ kí n júwe Qiblah schools Ìbàdàn fún yín ilé ìwé akéwù kàwé ṣe súnà tó ṣàrọ̀ ọ̀tọ̀ Qiblah primary school láti ń fohùn èlò ẹ̀kọ́ òde òní kọ́mọ ohun ìṣeré lóríṣiríṣi tí mọ́mọdé jẹ̀rẹ̀ ilé ìwé lójoojúmọ́ àtàwọn olùkọ́ bí òbí lọ́lọ́run àálà fi jíǹkì wà ti Qiblah high school yìí gan tún wọ ìyàmì ẹ̀kọ́ ìmọ̀ sáyẹ́ǹsì ìmọ̀ ẹ̀rọ technology ohun ti ṣe ọwọ́ vocational studies lọ́bí ń káwọn ọmọ wa bí wọ́n ṣe ń kéwù ni wọ́n ń kàwé kódà àtúnkọ́ wọn lẹ́sìn ní tìlànà Allah wa rasulihi ọkọ̀ ń bẹ ní sẹpẹ́tà fi ń káwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ àyíká wa àrímọ̀ lè lọ ni àṣeyọrí àwọn ọmọ wa níbi èsì ìdánwò àṣejáde gbogbo òun lè rí máa jẹ́ mi sọ ìtẹ́pámọ́ṣẹ́ àtàánú ọlọ́run àálà lórí wa Qiblah schools wà ní plot 2, 3, 4 and 5 Ìbàdàn South West multi-purpose scheme nítòsí ọjà alẹ́sìnlọ́yà Ìbàdàn tẹlifóònù 0805-272-5253 àti 0803-313-2027 Qiblah schools ìwájú lójúgùn gbé.
بجهالة ثم تاب من بعد